YouTube, what's going on, man? If you are new, please don't forget to subscribe. You can follow me, Benji, at on Twitter and Instagram. Honestly, multiple platforms. Send me videos on Twitter. I like to have discussion and discourse up there. But this video is about why Bobbi Althoff's podcast failed so quickly. Check it out.
Year and a half, her viewership has basically flatlined, with almost 300,000 people agreeing I've never seen an industry plant fall off harder than she did.
So a lot of people don't remember, or a lot of people do remember that Bobbi, this woman here, Bobbi with the body, she blew up in like last year doing, I mean, obviously through TikTok. She had like a family, she was doing family videos. I guess she divorced her husband and just started doing this podcast thing. The podcast shot up immensely quick because she had celebrity appearances left and right. And a lot of people believe that she was an industry plant because it was like within like a month or two of her having a podcast, she was getting people like Drake on. Super tough to do, right?
2021, making dry sarcastic content on the topic of being a mother. She'd make only 26 videos before beginning the really good podcast, to which she'd adapt her dry sarcastic style.
I think we look alike. Kind of, but not really. A little, you're like me in a different font.
The snippet quickly racked up almost 10 million views. The style was an instant success. This entire interview is like the calmest argument in history, and I love it. The
Goes yeah, quickly, internet switch up on you.
snippets from her next episode went equally viral.
The clips did really, really well on TikTok. So I was like, okay, I guess I like have something here.
But it was the episode with Funny Marco that completely changed everything. Because
and then a lot of people became upset because they felt like she was jacking Funny Marco's style of humor.
not only did the segments again pull crazy numbers, but the full episode gained over 5 million views without a single hate comment anywhere in sight. It's rare that two people I've never heard of make me laugh for an hour straight. This was special. This is hilarious. Marco has found the white woman version of himself. This should be a permanent duo. This is just the most cross-cultural, funny, awkward humor. People loved the honest branding of new episode whenever I can get someone to agree to let me interview them, the next of which being a very important person.
My video with Marco went very viral, like very viral. Then Drake liked one of the videos I had uploaded and he followed me.
Bobbi therefore tried to get him on.
I'm gonna like shoot my shot to Drake. So I was like, when are you gonna come on my podcast?
And he just was
He said,
game
yeah,
right away.
he was ready to do it.
Landing Drake as her 4th ever podcast guest. From an entertainment standpoint, the episode was basically perfect. Not only had she landed Drake, who never does podcasts, but she'd done so
like y'all don't understand. Like that's why a lot of people were saying that she was an industry player, because how do you even get Drake? Drake?
in a funny, intimate setting, whilst keeping it calm and relaxed to the extent that people thought they were just old friends.
The fact that you were so calm next to Champagne Poppy, because if I was in a bed next to Drake, I would be freaking out.
It therefore gained 10 million views in only 2 weeks and added 700,000 subscribers to Bobbi's total count.
Wow.
However, as summarized by a tweet reading, Drake giveth and Drake taketh away, Bobbi's interview with Drake began to ruin her reputation. During the podcast, Bobbi had asked,
Am I your type?
I'd do it.
Thank you.
and when Drake said that Bobbi should get with his friend, she seemed kind of interested.
If I could hook you up with anyone, it would be my dog Smigs.
Smigs?
Smigs. Smiley.
Can you tell me about Smiley?
Let me show you a picture of him.
Is he well known or are you just a friend of yours?
The Funny Marco interview had a similar interaction,
Are you hitting on me?
You're not my type.
What's your type?
with Bobbi stating she started the
yeah.
podcast for the following reason.
To have a way to meet people, and the podcast, I was like, I wish I could have like collaborate with other people.
Meeting new people likely wasn't sinister, but flirting with famous musicians seemed to annoy her husband, who filed for divorce only 6 days after she recorded the podcast with Drake. To make matters worse, Bobbi also admitted,
I flew
I thought it was before the. Oh no.
all the way here
You did. I really do appreciate
on my daughter's
that.
first birthday
You missed your daughter's first birthday.
to be here.
Regret that you'll
And I
never
thought she was trolling. That's OD.
be able to undo.
Yeah.
Horrible parenting.
showing she was kind of ditching her family for social media fame.
Is it kind of strange to anyone else that this woman who is married with children is constantly asking during these interviews with these rappers if basically they would go out with her, if basically they would sleep with her if they like her?
She confirmed the divorce in a TikTok post, with comments stating celebrity status always ruins the best things in life. On Reddit, people stated, she got famous and he stayed the same. Few marriages survived that, whilst the rumors likely didn't help. Did Bobbi Althoff cheat with Drake quickly became a mainstream narrative. Suggesting a conspiracy was when Bobbi deleted the podcast, with Drake and Bobbi both unfollowing each other on Instagram. Dave Portnoy from Barstool Sports therefore sent her a text. My girlfriend says you hooked up with Drake and got divorced. I am saying that is not true. Bobbi replied, I'm not commenting publicly, but off the record, you're right, that is not true. She'd share the text to her story adding, I did not want to do this podcast in the first place, and now so
And then it was, now you don't want to do the podcast. So People done subscribed to you and followed you and supported you in this growth, and you trying to say, I never wanted to do this in the first place.
How much negativity is coming from it. I'm going to leave it alone after this, but this is the uncensored DM between Dave and I, although...
And it don't even matter. You trying to put that information out there. Your husband ordered to divorce you. So whether you're trying to say, oh, nothing happened or didn't happen, it's about where it's all stemming from. It's about the attitude. It's about how you operate on a day-to-day. Now, obviously, we all don't know what happened when it came to her and her husband. I don't think he just filed for a divorce just because she just left to go with Drake. Maybe he did. I don't know. I mean, let's just say if that was legitimate, and it was like her daughter's first birthday, and like I'm at the house, doing it all, paying all the bills, and then I'm like, okay, it's daughter's birthday, and daughter's looking for mom. Where's mom? Where's mom? Where's mom? And yeah, mom's gone. She went to do a video with Drake. That's kind of crazy.
Though despite denying the rumors the narrative was set, Bobbi Althoff left her husband to thot around with rappers.
Would you date someone that looks like me? Because there's just a person,
What does that mean?
like, looks exactly like me. They have a twin.
Maybe.
If I had a twin, would you date them?
If she was like cool and like, you know.
The damage this did to Bobbi's image could be seen on her husband's Instagram, with comments reading, sorry that your ex sold you out for clout and fame, after which everything Bobbi did became some kind of drama. For example, she'd do a podcast with Lil Yachty, with people calling her ungrateful after she said this.
I walked into his house and it was super awkward because, like, he's really kind of awkward. He didn't even, like, say hi to me. He's just sitting there with, like, his two assistants. And then he comes up, he's like, oh, hi, gives me, like, a half hug. And I'm just like, hi. Then goes back to his spot. And I'm like, dude, I don't even want to do this. I'm texting my friend, like, Ashley, I need to leave. This is so awkward. I don't want to.
That's weird. I guess a lot of people were buying into the situation too because they seen the content, so they felt like that was just what you do. She's also weird. Sure, you pulled up to his house. You ain't like talk to nobody. He came and said talk to you, and then you said you wanted to leave because bro wasn't giving you all the attention.
Like, what am I doing here?
She wants to make awkward content and then puts Yachty on blast.
No facts.
Shaking my head. Gave her a platform and now she's shitting on y'all. See what happens? People then...
And y'all not peeking up with what the internet was putting down. A lot of people on the internet were upset because they felt like she was jumping into these spaces. And by these spaces, we talking about she was jumping into where she blew up was when she was having interactions with people of color. Rappers. That's what happened. She jumped in and that's when she blew up. Even the interaction with Marco when she was like, Marco, am I your type? And he's like, nah, like basically he was like, I like ratchet or da 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 da. Like, you know what I mean? When she had these interactions with these people and there was almost a blend of two different worlds, that's where I think she started blowing up. And then it was funny because it was then became, oh, I don't even want to do these podcasts when the people that are the ones that are blowing you up and garnering you content are the ones that now magically you never want to do content with.
Claimed that her fast rise to fame was orchestrated by her management company,
I'm pretty sure somebody at WME started help pulling the strings to set all this in motion.
who also managed some of the people who appeared on Bobbi's show.
Well, you got a great agent, and you got a great agency, and you got great guests.
Oh my
Bobbi simply
God!
trolled the claims, but there were
No, that dude feet was insane. Come on, Mark.
other inconsistencies. For example, she constantly claimed that she was broke
People think I'm joking about being in debt. I'm not. Like, I put every penny I had into this podcast.
and told Mark Cuban this,
I don't have any money
None?
at all. I have debt, actually.
You have debt? How much debt do you have?
Like $20,000 in debt.
then further added in her Rick Glassman podcast.
Every time a credit card maxes out, I have to switch to another. I have like 2 cards maxed out right now, so hoping to pay them off soon.
However, people realized she spent $500 on Chloe sandals. She is not broke, she is broken. Also noting that her husband was a millionaire who had 170,000 students
Is an executive and author whose work includes a self-taught programmer and self-taught computer science. After graduating from Clemson University with a major in political science, taught himself in a program, eventually becoming a software engineer at eBay. Oh, wow. His books have been translated to 8 languages, and he's been featured in publications like Forbes and CNBC. He's teacher vice president at CompTIA, the leading IT certification provider. No way. No way. Wait. So he's got 170K students. Is that people that are subscribing?
who'd bought his $43
No, yeah. He said 4,000 reviews. No! Well, I'll be.
course. Eventually, Bobbi also revealed that the podcast wasn't serious.
So when you interview these people, you're not Bobbi necessarily.
No, yeah, I'm just like a really dry person.
Deleting more of the magic that first made her interesting. We mentioned that when she first interviewed Marco, there were no negative comments. However, 3 months later when Reddit asked thoughts on Bobbi Althoff, there
I don't know if the video's gonna get into it too, but there was like a rift between her and Marco as well, because they were supposed to go on like a tour and all that type of stuff.
wasn't a single positive comment. Annoying ASF and not funny at all. I can't stand her, don't find her funny, and find it odd that rappers are always her targets to pick on like she's better than them. Gives me the ick. I watched a few of her.
Yeah, and then like a lot of people I think got upset because of the style of humor she was trying to pull off, like where she was acting like completely obtuse to the community and the culture. Yeah.
Interviews. I just don't find her funny or charismatic enough to pull off the shtick. I can see why she's popular though. This kind of awkward cringe humor is having a moment.
And I think at the end of the day, the content blew up because of the people she was interviewing, and it was almost if there was such a difference between the two people. Like for example, if it was her and a rapper, the funny part was them like responding to her and like roasting her. They were carrying the conversations, so it wasn't anything that where she could have did on her own, and then it'd been content that the rest of us would have ate up.
Only 4 days after that Reddit thread, it was reviewed as the not-so-really good podcast, which stated the content itself is boring. The episodes also lack direction and a central theme, probably because they only consist of small talk. The podcast fails to deliver anything substantial or thought-provoking. Instead, it provides a glimpse into how celebrities behave in casual settings, which may seem intriguing to some, but ultimately failed to engage me. Another person said that Bobbi's podcast sadly points out how real hip-hop journalism has been practically erased, while even funny Marco began to critique her show.
With me, it was like, I think you're funny, Marco, but let me learn about you. Like, trying to figure me out. But now it's like the interviews, I think they're like, she's trying to shit on people. And then when I watched the interview, I was like, damn, that was pretty bad.
As mentioned, she was plain disrespectful during her podcast with Offset, leading him to respond with similar energy.
You need a little bit of seasoning. You ain't got no seasoning, man. You like a plain piece of chicken, just on the thing, you pull it off, and then you serve the dish.
It seemed this was where many people quit watching Bobbi's show, aided by full podcast episodes that were just promoting products. In the process, she'd also change her appearance, leading to criticism bad enough for Bobbi to respond.
I am so tired of all of the comments of people saying she ruined her face. The only thing I have done to my face is that I have a little bit of filler in my upper lip, okay? I do not have cheek filler.
In a different video, she talked about getting other procedures.
I went in to get my zit injected and I left with a Botox in my forehead, which, that's fine, that's normal. I have lines here. I also didn't like that this would crease so much when I'd smile, so I got under eye filler. So I got Botox injected right here.
Which perhaps unfairly has only led to even more hate. Her 15 minutes are up. Bye, Bobbi. I am so tired of Bobbi. Get off the internet boring. The last couple of months, however, have been even worse. For starters, the style of the podcast has changed. The dry, sarcastic humor has become normal conversation, and all the awkward, quiet moments are often removed in editing. Strangely, however, this only makes it even more awkward and less entertaining as it feels like any other normal podcast.
How old are you?
Me, I'm 21.
You're 21?
Yeah.
Oh, you're so young.
I'm a baby still.
Wait, I didn't realize you were so young. I thought we were the same age. Now I feel really old.
Like I said, she jumped off and completely went to a different avenue when she felt like that she leached enough off the community.
How old are you? I'm 26.
You're not really old.
This entire interview feels like they are making small talk while waiting for something. She'd also do an episode with Dax Flame in which she was way ruder than any other podcast.
What is something fun that makes interviewing someone fun for you?
Just having good conversation.
Okay, yeah, I love good conversation.
Do you?
Mm-hmm.
Couldn't tell.
This genuinely was not even an interview. This was like bullying the nice kid and making him feel horrible in any way. Then 2 months ago, she did this video here, which judging by the dislike ratio was yet another doozy.
And then I saw this video of a girl talking about how much she made from her podcast, and I mentally decided that she made like at least $300 a year on her podcast alone, and I was like, that's what I need to do next. Like, I need a podcast.
I saw how much someone made and thought, that's what I need to do. Wow, what a passionate and inspiring individual. Toward the start of her career, Bobbi joked, not more money though, and that's all that matters in the world, but it seems that's now her actual philosophy.
I didn't grow up with money. I am on a lifelong journey to get money. I love
money's nice.
It's amazing.
Ever since doing the interview, Bobbi's viewership has significantly slowed. Her reputation is far from perfect, whilst her interview style has simply gone stale. Bobbi?
What do y'all think, man? Let's do two comments a little. Hey, good video. Missing the kid's first birthday of an interview in bed with Drake is wild work. Drake calls you a horrible parent, you know you messed up. No facts. A final nail in the coffin. She's a reflection of our society. We elevate these people for fame and riches. No facts. We the one that put her on. Basically, she threw her family away from internet clout. I think I did see like the other day that somebody posted that she's like with a football player now. So there's always gonna be, like I said, bottom feeders. At first, I felt like sad for her husband, how she ruined her family, but now it looks like it was the best thing for him. She revealed her true colors. No facts. So crazy, bro. You can have multiple kids with somebody and then just like they just switch you up, right? Oh my gosh. Destroyed her family for fame. Not only, but the man was a millionaire, wishing the best in full custody. He initiated divorce over what happens to be getting getting a little carried away with becoming world famous in a very short amount of time. It could probably be entirely possible that the husband was jealous and irrational over her success and fell upstage and he couldn't handle it. Flirting with rappers in the interview sounds like a reason to seek marriage counseling, not divorce. The fact that she deleted the Drake interview, obviously over her husband being mad about it, shows me that she definitely cared about his feelings and family. No, I do think that it was like a threat that came from Drake and them, that they were like, yo, stop this. Was 6 days after the interview or 6 days after the interview released? That's what I'm saying. There was obviously a lot of things that were going into it. It's probably, obviously, it's not like she just woke up one day and just started a podcast. She had like TikTok before that. So what probably happened was she probably got a little bit of leverage from her family to fund it. And maybe in the meantime, they had differences going on and it just all culminated with the podcast drops. Not everybody has money and clout money is by it. The Drake interview was most likely falling down in the coffee. Talk about marriage counseling. But if you're missing it, your daughter's first breast being a bed with a rapper, ask questions like, am I your type, and wanting to see what his friends look like, then divorce is imminent. My wife succeeded in something I was never able to do, break into the gaming industry, and as an artist, no less. I didn't file for divorce, took off an expensive dinner about her having a new car, and shouted her praise. You do. Completely different scenario. Almost boasting about being in bed about missing your daughter's first birthday while being in bed with a rapper. Insane work. Exactly.